15 examples of Japanese etiquette that will drive you crazy. Have you ever dreamt of visiting Japan? Seriously, who hasn't? It is famous for its high-speed trains, colorful cherry blossoms and kimonos, yummy sushi, and incredible etiquette rules. Apparently, there is a ceremony and a set of rules for even the most routine things in the land of the rising sun. We've put together some mind-blowing rules of courtesy from Japan. Breaking them would seriously offend your Japanese friends or colleagues. From money envelopes to the degrees of bowing, make sure not to miss any of these. Number 15. Addressing people. To address people by name is not enough in Japan. Our usual Miss and Mr. last names won't work either. And even the respectful title, san, is only the tip of the iceberg. There are actually more appropriate suffixes for addressing or referring to different people. Kun, a less formal honorific than the neutral san. It approximately means friend. Chan, a diminutive suffix people mostly use for children, female family members, lovers, and close friends. Sama, the most respectful version, lord, honorable. It was used to refer to lords and deities. Nowadays, it's sometimes used to express sarcasm. We love this one, because who doesn't love sarcasm? Senpai is for addressing elder colleagues or schoolmates. Kohai is the opposite of senpai. Sensei, this one you probably know. It is used for addressing teachers, doctors, scientists, politicians, and other authority figures. Shi, for formal writing. Imagine mixing them up and referring to your Japanese boss with chan. Drama. Number 14. Exchanging business cards. When was the last time you gave someone a meishi? Oh, you have never ever. Okay, meishi is nothing bad or offensive. It is what a business card is called in Japanese. You just hand it out and say, "It was a pleasure meeting you," right? Not in Japan. Exchanging business cards is a whole ritual. Here's what you need to do. Make sure your card's front side is facing your counterpart. Offer it with both hands. If your rank is lower than your partner's, hold the card lower than they do. If you were given a business card, put it on a card holder and take a few seconds to look at it. Don't forget to bow. If you haven't got a card holder, it's a disaster. It's a far cry from what we have, just putting business cards in our pocket. Number 13. Giving praise. Imagine you are working at or with a Japanese company. One of your colleagues has done something outstanding. His or her ideas just helped the company make millions. Or maybe he or she worked day and night to finish that important project and meet the deadline. Would you say they did great in front of everyone else? Click like if so. Well, you could do that, but the person you describe as a bright mind and a very loyal professional would feel embarrassed. The Japanese believe that you can easily break a single arrow, but not 10 in a bundle. In other words, group solidarity is much more important than individual success to them. So if you want to give praise to someone, say their team did a great job. Number 12. Punctuality. Timekeeping means so much to the Japanese, they are surrounded by clocks. Every park, store, and even many of the billboards have clocks in them. When a train is 1 minute late, the railway company will make an announcement with their sincere apologies. The driver of a bullet high-speed train is not expected to stay more than 15 seconds off schedule. So don't be surprised if you have a meeting, a real or an online one, scheduled with your Japanese colleagues, and they start messaging you asking if everything is all right with you when you are 1 minute late. Imagine what a torture it must be for a Japanese person in, let's say, Italy, where life is more relaxed, and a few minutes could mean a couple of hours. Number 11. In an elevator. It turns out that even here there are informal but clear rules. If you are the first to enter an empty elevator, you become the elevator captain, and you should stand close to the control panel. You'll need to hold the door open until everyone has entered the elevator. Repeat, so for each floor at which the elevator stops. You must also be the last to leave, and you need to do everything very quickly. If you are a tourist in Japan, try not to be the first to enter an elevator, unless you really want to be the captain. The position is not paid though, and you don't even get a cool captain's hat. Number 10. Subways. On the subway, there are some restrictive rules that the Japanese are expected to follow. Talking is not allowed, on the phone as well, and it's impolite to stare at others. It's not customary to give up your seat for old people, even if they can barely stand. There are special seats marked with a sign for them, as well as for disabled people and pregnant women. You can't take those seats if you don't belong to those categories. Number 9. Touching. In Japan, it's rude to look people in the eyes, let alone touch them. This country is not very large, so every Japanese person respects the personal space of others. If you visit Japan, don't touch people. Kissing in public will also give you quite a few angry looks. Before 1945, it even was considered a violation of public order. Number 8. Keeping it clean. The Japanese are obsessed with punctuality and cleanliness. Taxi drivers wear white gloves. Face masks protect people from germs. There are mouthwash fountains in public places to keep your breath fresh. There are moist towels at every restaurant to keep your hands clean without touching any taps. If you visit a Japanese home, prepare to take your shoes off before you enter. You will get slippers instead. Don't be surprised to get an extra pair of slippers to put on before you go to the bathroom. You will take them off again as you come back to your seat. And if you see a tatami, which is kind of like a mat, remember there are no slippers for it at all. You can only step on it with your socks or with bare feet. Number 7. Eating outside. There are lots of fun foods you will definitely want to try in Japan, from bento boxes, which can come in a super fancy design, to ramen and whatnot at the yatai stalls. One thing to remember here is that you can't bring your own food or drinks to the stall, which makes sense, and you can't occupy your table for too long as there are other people waiting. The same rule works in parks and public spaces. Yes, it is considered bad manners to sit in one place slowly enjoying your meal or life in general. There is a good chance others want your spot on a busy day. More than that, there are some public open spaces where eating and drinking is forbidden altogether. Eating while walking is also not a thing, because ikai ichi dosa, which means one thing at a time. If you still want to try to eat while walking, be prepared to carry your trash around before you find a trash can. This is a rather difficult task in Japan. A lot of tourists fail at it and just litter all over the place, which is a no-no for the Japanese. Understandable, right? Number 6. Alcoholic drinks. When the Japanese drink, the social hierarchy totally breaks down, and they drink really heavily. A local professor can drink with his students, and they will then drag him home. An exemplary clerk who bows to his business partner during the day can get drunk at a karaoke bar and vomit on his suit. And this is normal. Interestingly enough, when they all sober up, they will behave just as if nothing happened. In Japan, what happens in a boozy session stays in a boozy session. Number 5. Money. The Japanese have a strange attitude toward money. For some reason, they are embarrassed to show it in public. Therefore, money envelopes decorated in a traditional manner are very popular here. And if you haven't got such an envelope, you'll have to wrap the money in a piece of paper before giving it to anyone. Of course, you don't need to do so at supermarkets, but you still have to consider this rule. You can't hand your money to the cashier, only put it in the cash tray. And it's all for the sake of the protection of personal space. Number 4. The art of sitting properly. To sit by folding one's legs underneath one's thighs is called seiza, and the Japanese sit on the floor only in this way. They feel comfortable sitting seiza style, as if in an armchair. But if you are not accustomed to it, your feet become numb within a couple of minutes. If you are a tourist or a senior and spread out your legs, you'll certainly get away with it and no one will say anything. But it would be unimaginably inappropriate for a Japanese person to sit this way. Number 3. Gifts. In Japan, the culture of giving gifts is very strong, and there are 2 special gift-giving seasons each year, O-Chugen in summer and O-Seibo in winter. In many countries, it is customary to open a gift at once. In Japan, it's a sign of greed and impatience. Besides, what if the gift giver is embarrassed about their modest gift and notices a shade of discontent coming over your face, like a wind in the reeds? By the way, do you think flowers are a good gift? Click like if so. You have to be very careful if you want to give someone flowers in Japan. Lilies, lotus blossoms, camellias, and any white flowers, in general, are reserved for funerals. Potted plants will not be appreciated because of superstitions. Anything in a set of 4 is believed to bring bad luck, and number 9 is considered unlucky as well. So many things to remember not to embarrass yourself. Number 2, bowing. The art of bowing is so important in this country that children learn it at an early age. Imagine this. There are many different ways to bow in Japan: standing, sitting, and female and male variants. Here are some of them. The greeting bow, eshaku, of 15 degrees is for people of equal business or social rank. The respectful bow, keirei, of 30 degrees is a bow for a teacher or a boss. The deeply reverent bow, Saikare, of 45 degrees, should be used if you apologize or see the emperor. The begging for your life bow is probably only used nowadays if you have done something really terrible. Of course, foreigners are not expected to bow, but the Japanese will be pleased if you return a bow. Number 1, taking leave. In Japan, a customer or business partner is almost a god and is treated with incredible respect. When they leave, the whole company follows them to the door or elevator and keeps bowing until the doors are closed. It's very inconvenient if this happens in a business center with several such delegations crowding at elevators at the same time. Besides, foreign customers can be embarrassed. The Japanese of the new generation believe that this is a little bit too much and often ignore this ritual. Who knows what's going to happen to the traditional Japanese etiquette in the coming centuries? Which of these etiquette rules sound like the craziest to you? Or maybe there are some you wouldn't mind following yourself. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. There are more fun videos on the way.